Let's talk about Chapter 13, Section 1 on property tax. There are three basic formulas that we're going to use. The assessed value of a home or a property is the fair market value times the assessment rate. The fair market value can be defined as what it would actually sell for in the fair market. So what you would see its price tag on if you were looking at Zillow or a realtor was telling you the house is selling for this price. The assessed value is that fair market value times the assessment rate. This is an amount that is used in an assessor's office. Find the property tax. The property tax dollar amount is the tax rate times the assessed value. Again, that assessed value is something that's used in an assessor's office, which is part of your government program. The property tax rate is the amount of tax needed to run programs like park districts or schools, divided by the total assessed value in that area. That will become a fraction. We then can make that into a decimal, and we can change that decimal into a percent for a rate. Let's get started. A building has a fair market value of $1,480,000. Again, that fair market value would be if someone went to buy that building, that's what they would sell. Well, the building's for sale for $1,480,000. The assessment rate is 70%. Find the assessed value. So to find the assessed value, we take that fair market value, $1,480,000, and multiply it by the decimal of the assessment rate, 0.70. Multiplying those together, we get an assessed value. I'm going to write down the digits and then we'll go back and read it. 1036000, $1,036,000 for the assessed value. In question 2, a school district needs $14,250,000 to run the school. Okay. The total assessed property value in that area, now we're going to talk about hundreds, thousands, millions, trillions. So the assessed value properties are 1,575,809. Question 2. A school district needs $14,250,000 to run the school. The total assessed property value in the area is, and to read this property properly, we have our hundreds, thousands, millions, and trillions. So $1,575,890,000 in assessed property. Find the tax rate. So to find the tax rate, we're going to talk about the money needed over the money property in that area. So the assessed value in the area. We're going to take each of those values and create a fraction. I took the money needed, $14,253,000 as the numerator, and the $1,575,890,000 in the denominator. And when we divide, we get a small decimal. Keep all of those decimal places. Okay? And then after we get our decimal, we're then going to convert to a percent. I'm going to take all of that and multiply by 100%, which essentially is a shortcut of moving that decimal 2 places to the right, giving us 0.90%. Typically, they'll ask for 1 or 2 decimal places. So 1 decimal place would be 0.9% and 2 decimal places would be 0.90%. Question 3, find the tax if the assessed value is $58,975 and the tax rate is 8.4%. So the money that someone pays in tax is the tax rate, the tax percent. In this case, 8.4% as a decimal is 0.084. And we're going to multiply that by the assessed value. In this case, we were given the assessed value of $58,975. Multiplying those two, I get a tax amount of $4,953.90. Keep in mind we're always rounding to the nearest penny, which is the second decimal place. Question 4. Find the tax if the assessed value is $875,400. Okay. Only this time they're telling us the tax rate in a different way. They're telling us the tax rate is $7.82 per 100. I'm going to write that as a fraction. $7.82 per $100. Remember that fraction bar means divide. So we're going to find our tax value by taking that tax rate times the assessed value. In this case, the tax rate was listed in a different way, $7.82 per $100. The assessed value was given as $875,400. In order to calculate this, we're going to use divide. $7.82 divided by 100 and get that amount, and then multiply by $875,400. Putting it all together, I get a tax value of $68,456.28. Let's take a look at question 5, a different way of calculating a tax rate. So find the tax if the assessed value is $129,600 and the tax rate is $64.21 per 1,000. Again, make this into a fraction. $64.21 per is our fraction bar, $1,000. So our tax amount is that tax rate times the assessed value. The tax rate we just said was $64.21 on top of 1,000. Remember that fraction bar means divide, and the assessed value was given to us as $129,600. Changing that fraction into a division, $64.21 divided by 1,000, and then after we get that amount, we're going to multiply by $129,600. And we get a total tax of $8,321.62. We're going to look at one last question for section 13.1. And again, we're finding a tax amount. We're given the assessed value. And in this time, we're saying the tax rate is 94 mils. Mils is another way to say per 1,000. Okay. So you can think of mils very similar to what you just did in that previous question, per 1,000. So we're going to write 94 mils as 94 per 1,000, and as a fraction that would be 94 over 1,000. So our tax amount is going to be the tax rate times the assessed value. And in this case, our tax rate is 94 mils, which means 94 per 1,000. And our assessed value was given as $221,950. Don't forget that we're going to change that fraction bar into division. So 94 divided by 1,000. And then after we get that amount, $221,950. Putting that together, we get a tax amount of $20,863.30. Let's take a look at two last questions before we finish up Chapter 13, Section 1. Question 25 from your textbook goes all the way through the text question. A new radio station broadcasts from a building having a fair market value of $480,000. Again, that's the price of the building if someone's going to go in and purchase it. Property in the area is assessed at 25% of market value, and the tax rate is $65.30 per 1,000. Find the property tax. So the first step is to find the assessed value. To find the assessed value, we're going to take that assessment rate of 25% as a decimal times its fair market value, and the fair market value is $480,000. Okay. And then multiplying the two together, I get $120,000 for the assessed value. Okay. Then we're going to take that assessed value and multiply it by the tax rate. So to find the tax amount, we're going to take the assessed value times the tax rate. The assessed value is our $120,000. And the tax rate, they gave it to us in terms of $65.30 per 1,000, which we write as a fraction. $65.30 per 1,000. And don't forget from those previous questions that fraction bar means divide. So we're going to take $65.30 divided by 1,000. And after I get that amount, I'm going to multiply by the 120,000 of the assessed value. And I get a total tax amount of $7,836. One last question I wanted to introduce was comparing the different ways that the tax rate is provided. One way is a percent, and keep in mind percent means per 100. So percent and per 100 should match. So look for that, okay? In this case, percent has a percent sign and per 100 has a dollar sign. But notice that the value 4.84 and 4.84 are the same. Per 1,000 is the same meaning as mils. Mils means per 1,000. So in these cases, they should match. Okay. Let's take a look at question 14. $6.75 per 100 would match with 6.75%. Now to get this part, okay, I'm going to use a quick proportion. And I'm going to take that $6.75 per 100, and I want to find how much it's equal to per 1,000. So I'm looking to fill in this third blank. Okay. So to go from the left to the right, one way to do that would be to multiply by 10. And then I'll balance that in the numerator and also multiply by 10 and get $67.50. Right away, I know that that should also match with the mils, 67.5. Okay. An alternate way to get that answer B per 1,000 would be to use that same proportion, $6.75 per 100, and we want to know how much per 1,000, and we could solve. We could multiply by a common denominator. In this case, it would be 1,000. Another way to solve a proportion would use cross multiply. And cross multiply is really just a simplified shortcut of using a common denominator. And then, so on the left-hand side, I'm going to move my decimal 3 places. And then dividing by 100, I'll go backwards 2 spots. And I get that same 67.50, 67.50. So ones to remember, per cent and per 100 should match because they both mean per 100. It's just one has a label of a percent and one is labeling dollars. Per 1,000 and mils, again, should match. One is labeled in dollars and the other is just a number because mils means per 1,000.